Fanzone, united by the game, powered by MWOS World of Sport.
Welcome to Fanzone, your hottest and latest destination for all Zimbabwean sports. We bring you passion, drama and non-stop action, all happening here in the Fanzone studio. My name is Sips.
And I'm Steve Vickers. It's Scotland against MWOS on Saturday at Rufaro Stadium. Wow, it's a potential title decider. Certainly if Scotland win, they'll be in a very strong position. But MWOS can get themselves right up close to the top with a victory. Looking ahead to that game, we're talking Warriors as well. And also we're talking about some of the sporting values that might not be as strong as they were. Joining us on the show, welcome back to Simba Chiminya, Star FM Sportscaster.
Thank you very much, Steve. Nice to be back on the show.
Great to have you with us. And Shaun de Souza, who's the Rugby Under-20 national team coach. And it's welcome back, Shaun.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Lovely jersey. This is from your own rugby academy. You've got an event coming up on Saturday at Old Harareans. It's to do with community, it's to do with saying no to drugs and other really good values, yeah?
Yes, definitely. That's what we're striving to achieve, and hopefully it'll be a success.
Well, so we look forward to that. We'll talk more later on. And Scotland supporter as well, yes?
Go Scotland! We're taking the title this weekend.
Oh, that's a good positive talk. So there's so many sports to dive into. Let's talk about what happened over the weekend. Alright, the Warriors have played Bafana Bafana in a home game in South Africa, and what was a gritty 0-0 draw. Steve, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I thought they gave us something to be happy about a bit. Just to say, we're recording this before Monday's game against Lesotho, so this is our thoughts on that match. We defended well, and we'll need to defend well at the AFCON, and also we play South Africa in our group at the AFCON, so that's very encouraging that we held them to a draw. Imagine against Egypt, Angola too, we will need to defend and maybe nick something when we're coming forward, like we nearly did. So I was encouraged there. Still would like to see goals, but it was a more spirited performance from the Warriors there.
Yeah. Some said that the Warriors had a lot of opportunities to score. Would you agree?
Not really. I think one notable one was that free kick by Thompson, but generally we were doing much of the defending. We were not really attacking except soaking the pressure from South Africa and way to catch them on the counter-attack. But like what Steve said, the positive was on the fact that in terms of defensively organizing ourselves at the back, we were a bit organized than the previous matches. And we probably rose to the occasion against a big team. Should you say South Africa big team? I speak like what their coach Hugo Bruce was saying. But I think for most of our people are celebrating that draw, maybe because it was just throwing back the punch to the South African coach for saying that Zimbabwe were not a big team. Mm-hmm. But besides that, celebrating, spoiling the party for South Africa, not much really to take away from that game for me, because we still haven't scored. And in terms of where we want to be, in terms of our attack, we were not at our best.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to defend at a tournament, which we did. Mohamed Salah and co. with Egypt. It might be another story, but promising signs for me, Sips.
Yeah, especially one man down, 10 players on the field. It wasn't a bad result. Another topic of contention with the Warriors playing in South Africa is obviously it's not a home ground. And so, Shaun, I want to bring you into this conversation. So, the National Sports Stadium has not been CAF approved, hence why we're playing games outside of Zim. As the head coach, we've hosted the Barge Trophy last year and this year. What's the process in order to host? Do you have to get approval from Rugby Africa? How have you been able to host the Barge Trophy?
So at the under-20 level, there's a cycle. So Zimbabwe were given the hosting rights in 2024. And then we were given first right of refusal for 2025. And that's how we managed to host it this year. Next year, we have first rights of refusal. But I think because Namibia won the title, they will be the top contender for hosting rights for 2026.
Okay. So for a lot of Zimbabwean fans, it may look like we salvaged a point. If you're a South African fan, you may have dropped points. Speaking of teams who salvaged and dropped points, the Matchday 29 rescheduled fixture happened over the weekend between Triangle and Simba Bhora, and surprisingly, it was a 0-0 draw. It's always a tough outing at Rufaro Stadium, Simba. But a 0-0 draw, does this result surprise you at all?
I thought Simba Bhora were going to have sting in this game because losing or failing to get the 3 points, ceded some ground to Scotland. And this was a match that they should have, sweated all 90 minutes to try and get the 3 points because it's giving psychological advantage even to Simba Bhora. And in terms of, them also being able to defend the title, I think psychologically it affected them because they are going to get into an even tougher assignment against Ngezi Platinum Stars. So for Simba Bhora, I think everything got lost when they lost in those penalty shootouts to Ngezi in Hot Space. I think when you lose in another tournament, it also have got an effect in the way that you're going to respond when you come back to play in the league, particularly playing the catch-up games.
Signs of a deflated team, I think, Sips,
Are they still in the title race?
Yes, but they've got to put this behind them and they've got to win probably at least 3, if not all, of their remaining 4 games.
That's Simba Bhora out of the title race, in my opinion. Yes, taking on points, they're still in contention, but they're dropping a couple of points. In fact, in their last 4 games, they haven't scored a goal. And while they've only conceded 1 goal, so they're not conceding much, they're not scoring at all. So I think they've lost out on the title. There still is some of the season to go. Simba, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you that it's going to be difficult for them. If you can't score, you can't win games. And these remaining games, you just need to play and hope some things will happen to the other teams, but you need to win all your games. And for them to win this one, I really doubt it. So I think for me, the race is now between MWOS and Scotland.
Yeah, they're even playing at Baobab, Ngezi's home ground. So lots to think about there as we get to the closing end of the season. Division 1 was also getting to their ultimate finale, and after what was a tumultuous and disturbance throughout the week, the Northern Central region continued as normal and all the other Division 1 regions. So Simba, let us know what's been happening in Division 1.
I think it's really interesting, it's particularly in the Eastern region. Calculators are out now because 2 games to go, and the teams that are in the title race, the 3 of them, they are separated by 2 points. So on Sunday, it was a big game. The team that was on top, Masvingo United, lost away to FC Hunters at Rugby Stadium in Marondera. So now FC Hunters are back on top, 2 points ahead of Masvingo United, and the third team, Tenax, managed to win 4-0 against Renko Mine, and they are now on 61 points. So 2 teams on 61 points, and the big game coming at the weekend, FC Hunters at home again against Tenax. So should Tenax win, then it means that they will be 2 points ahead of FC Hunters, and we just wait to see how Masvingo United are also going to play against Deportivo La Murambinda. But really a lot to play for, because in the last game, Tenax are also going to play Masvingo United. And one good talking point about this whole thing is FC Hunters coach. He is 26 years old.
Wow.
And probably the youngest coach in Division 1. And should he win, probably going to be the youngest coach in the Zimbabwean Premiership next year, because next year will be turning 27 in June. So really good for him. And last week there was a talk about Chesham pulling out of the Central Region Soccer League, and on the eve of the weekend fixtures on Friday, they announced that they were coming back. Of course, during the week, as if I'd said, they are still in the league. So they played against Dulibadzimo and won 4-0. And in that game, Dulibadzimo said they were playing under protest because they thought Chesham were not going to play and they were not notified. So it now means that Chesham are still a point behind the log leaders, Hard Rock. Hard Rock, they didn't play. They were given points on a silver platter because Bishopstone pulled out of the league. So that's the story from the Central Region Soccer League. And then in the Southern Region, it's still Blower Chiefs on top, 5 points ahead of Wange. And they managed to win 2-0 against Megawatt. And Wange didn't play because they were supposed to play Ajax World Space Movers, and they pulled out of the league, so they were given 3 points. And Kai United, it seems like they are losing the steam with 5 games to go because they were held to a 1-0 draw by Blair City. So it's now going to be probably a 2-horse race in the southern region when it looked like it was going to be a 3-horse race. But 2-horse race in the northern region, still Ngombe grinding the results, winning 2-1 away to Zambezi GNC, and Agama also winning 1-0 at home against Harare City. But the big game coming this weekend is going to be Ngombe the team on top, versus Golden Eagles, the team on third position. So this Friday, fireworks in the Northern Region Soccer League. And Agama, they are coming to Harare to play Black Rhinos at Commando Barracks. So Super Friday in the Northern Region Soccer League.
Wow. Well, yeah, we're going to be coming back to the Shesham stories, a bit of rumour, a bit of rubbish to discuss there. A lot has happened in the tables, in the league tables, in the PSL, in Division 1, but also in the Predictor updates. So let's have a look at that leaderboard. There is a new leader in the Predictor. It's Simba, who's come back to the top after sitting around the mid-table 5, 6, 7 region. He's managed to climb up above Icon 505. And with the matches counting down, can he hold his position? It's only a 5-point lead between him and Simba. So keep predicting, guys. It's great to watch who's going in through to the top. Steve, did you place your prediction? Did you remember to place your prediction for the Triangle Simba Bhora game?
I forgot, Sips. I should have set a reminder on that one. And I've been picking 0-0s in some of the games I'm not sure about, so I just cost myself points there.
Yeah, it was a tough prediction. I predicted Simba to win, so I lost out on a couple of points. But Shaun, you actually also do the Predictor. Have you won anything? How's it going for you?
No, I think it's been interesting since I came onto the show. I think in week 3, I joined the Predictor. I was, I think it was round 11 by then. Yeah, I've had some good weekends with 56 points. That was the max I've had.
That's good.
So yeah, I just need to do a bit more research from Simba here, and I'll up my ranks.
You up your ranks. And in terms of your joker, you're a Scotland fan. They're winning a lot these days. Are you confident in putting your joker on the Scotland game?
I have. I actually did what I put my joker on this weekend's game. So I'm waiting to get some points there.
Oh, some points. Yeah, more Scotland versus more. That's going to be an enticing fixture. Guys, if you aren't predicting, yes, there are only 3-4 games left in the season, but it's still so much fun and really enjoy looking. I look forward to all my predictions. If you haven't joined, fanzone.co.zw is where you can go, sign yourself up and get predicting. Private leagues are open, sweepstakes are in full swing, caps, shirts, bucket hats, power banks, speakers, everything you could pretty much want, and even TVs every now and then. So get predicting and get onto the MWOS PSL Predictor. It is the weekend of the derbies. The new generation derby between Scotland and MWOS will be a great one at Rufaro Stadium. Last time these two teams met, it was a 1-0 win for MWOS at the Mosongoni Stadium. Credit to Billy Varemu. This time round is going to be different. Simba, they're playing at Rufaro, Scotland's home ground. What are your thoughts on this game? Predictions? What are you thinking?
Of course, people are saying that MWOS struggle when they come to Harare, but there's a first for everything. They might come in and get a result, but it's a game that both teams know that once you get to win this one, it's going to augur well in your quest to win the title. So for MWOS, if they win this one, they know that they've taken 3 points away from Scotland, and it will be easy in the last 3 games of the season. And for Scotland, it's a game that they know once they beat MWOS, they know that they've eliminated one of the title contenders, and looking that Simba Bhora also running out of steam. So I think this is the real combination that they have. It's going to be a difficult one to predict, even though I am going to give it to MWOS. Of course, I'm sitting next to a Scotland fan. But I think MWOS are going to get it. They are rejuvenated. They are the MWOS that we saw at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the reverse fixture at Ngoni Stadium in Norton, one of the most thrilling days of the season, no doubt, with MWOS winning 1-0 with Billy Veremu's goal. this time around, what are the factors? I would say perhaps the fact that Knowledge Masona, Walter and Karma Billiot have been on national duty, maybe a little tired coming back. Not necessarily, but it could be a factor that works in the favour of MWOS. That record outside of Harare is not good for them, but it's an absolute must-win. MWOS have got the more difficult fixtures for the run-in. They've got to play Caps and Gezi, and it's difficult for them, whereas Scotland have got better fixtures. So too have Simba, who I think are still in the title race for me. If MWOS win and Simba win, then they're almost all level at the top. So, yeah, the pressure is on MWOS for sure. Expect a great game. I think Scotland 2-1 for me, Sips.
Yeah. We've spoken about the MWOS' track record at out in Harare. I don't think they will have it. The one thing they can do is probably just have more energy. Hopefully, you mentioned Masona, Billiot, all the Masonas, they'll be tired. But for Scotland, they got to use that home advantage. They know the divots, they know the patches.
Yes.
So they'll be looking to get onto the scoreboard. Shaun, Scotland fan, over to you. What are you thinking for this game?
I've predicted the same as Steve. I've gone as a 2-1, plus my joker.
Plus your joker.
Wow.
You've been to watch Scotland game yet?
I watched the Dynamos game, so that's what's keeping me a bit weary. We thought that was a given, and Dynamos did play well on our home fixture. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch. So are you hoping you're not bad luck for Coach Tonde?
No, I think we will do well this weekend. I'm just waiting for my invitation, but yeah.
Yeah, waiting for your invitation. So the newest generation of the derby and looking to the oldest generation, Highlanders versus Dynamos at Barberfields. I think this one will be a little bit quieter than what we've seen in other years. Looking at the points and the tables, the log standings, Dynamos are finally out of the relegation zone. Highlanders not too far away. I think both teams, they'll be happy for a draw. Knock it around a bit. So I don't think we'll be seeing fireworks in that match.
Yep, sure. Dynamos probably one win in the last 4 games might even be enough, but a win and a draw probably would see them safe. They've not got a bad record at Barberfields in these derbies, surprisingly. They've pulled off a lot of big results in the past, so they could even edge it this amazing round. Of course, Kelvin Kaindu, who was fired by Highlanders earlier this season, he returns, having worked a miracle potentially with Dynamos. So I think it's going to be a very exciting derby. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dynamos winning 1-0 in Bulawayo.
You wouldn't be surprised. And Simba, what do you think?
Yeah, but I still believe that is still the biggest game, no matter what will be at stake. And I think when you look at Bulawayo, for me, it's still the capital of football vibe in terms of supporting Zimbabwe. You look at the Bulawayo chapter of the Dynamos fans, even when they are coming to Rufaro to give support or in other places. So for me, this is still a big game. Look at the coaches. Kevin Kaindu, former Highlanders. And I think if there's any match that he wants to win at all costs, this is against Highlanders, particularly at Barberfield Stadium. And the way that he left Highlanders, you'd want to have something. And then they've got a coach who is very talkative, should I say, in Peter de Jong. He likes to express himself. And I don't think that Kelvin Kaindu would want to lose to Peter de Jong. And once he gets to win, you know how you break. And for Peter de Jong himself, you also want to endear himself with the Highlanders fans to say, I'm the man, I'm the champion. Even when he signs out, you always say, the champ is speaking. So when the champ wins, you know the decibels in terms of noise that he's going to make. And you would want to do it against Dynamos, no any other team. So for me, it's still a big game.
Still a big game. I think also another reason, another factor adding into this game why I think that both teams will just knock it around is that after this fixture, the next weekend, the two teams again, Highlanders and Dynamos, are playing in the Chibuku Super Cup semi-final. So I think both teams will want to preserve the energy and rather look to that game. Do you think that will play an influence, Steve?
Yeah, they got their eye on that, definitely. For Dynamos, it's survival as well, the first and foremost. So at least getting a draw from this game against Bosso is going to be very important.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments. Remember to place your predictions, guys. Don't miss out on this weekend. It's going to be a banger of a weekend in terms of predictions. Looking ahead to so many other sporting faculties and what's exciting and coming up this weekend. Shaun, you have got a rugby tournament which you are hosting. Tell us all about it and what's it for.
Yeah, Sips, thanks. We hosted the Shaun de Souza Rugby Academy inaugural 10s tournament. It's a community-based event. We've got under 11s, under 15s, and under 16s playing in this tournament. So what we've done is we've reached out to community-based academies to try and just bring out this drug awareness campaign. We feel that, yes, drugs have become a pandemic. I've been to a couple of drug awareness campaigns, and I've realized you don't see any athletes in those events. But we are no exception. We need to conscientize the community, and these athletes from the community are looked up to. Yes, they're academy athletes. They are not yet elite, but they still get recognized within their peers. So reaching out to these guys, getting them to speak out, will help us spread the word and maybe safeguard a life or two.
Yeah, sport is very important when it comes to safeguarding, promoting good values, and sometimes we lose sight of that. It's all about winning normally. What are some other things you would like to achieve through this competition?
I think it's about building relationships, building just a platform for youngsters to develop off. We get kids who are new into the game, playing against some athletes who've played at national level, playing in the same team. So yes, the standard is not that fantastic, but we're hoping that with more tournaments of this nature, we can then build the standard and make it a bit of a more competitive environment, and maybe these kids get opportunities to play for the top club teams and maybe get contracts or opportunities for in high schools, or just to better themselves and play at the rugby at a higher level. Because we are now a World Cup team, I think it's something we need to look at and grow the grassroots foundation.
Yeah, and looking at your shirt there, I can see it says SDRA 24, and you like to be a competitive coach, and it's been roughly almost 2 years now that your academy's been alive and full. Who are some of the players that you've groomed who've gone on to play for any of the national sides?
I think, we launched on the 4th of November 2024. We've had a few youngsters that have come through the ranks that have represented the Grant Nkomo Zimbabwe rugby team. We've had Bongani Msipa representing the Craven Week team this year. We've had 3 of our youngsters represent the under-14s Craven Week. Bez, Alistair, and Farai. So I think it's a good platform. We only beginning. We only can do better.
Shaun, what's standing out for me about this tournament you're putting on at the weekend are the values of community and of friendship. It seems like old-fashioned values that aren't there as much in sport these days. It's about winning at all costs. Even schoolboy rugby, of course, it's about winning at all costs. As I went to the All Africa Games 4 times in 4 different countries, and the stated aim of that is not about winning medals per se. The stated aim is about friendship and cultural exchange, people understanding each other better. But these values, maybe are they dropping out of sport a bit, would you say?
I think that's something that's why we took up this initiative. We're trying to build those values, and we've, as an academy, we roped in all the parents to be involved, to also partake, because they're the ones that are with the kids at home. So we bring in the values from home to the academy and then taking it back to the community. So I think it's a win-win for us, and getting involvement and buy-in from the guys that spend time with the kids is the priority for us.
But you've got people from all over Harare coming, so how does this help with community then?
So community-based, we looked at different academies from Chitungwiza, from the central district area. We've got a team from Waterfalls. So we've only started with 13 teams because it's the inaugural. We didn't want to overdo it. We do have teams that have asked to come on board, but because it's a social event, there is not much funding for it. So we're trying to build a platform, and maybe we'll get the buy-in from corporates, and next year we could probably grow it to bigger numbers.
Right, but with community then you've got players who are representing in different communities.
Yes. So what we're doing is then these platforms will then give opportunities for clubs to come in and scout for players and give opportunities.
Tell us about the importance of having role models in the community, especially when you're doing the Say No to Drugs message.
So our Say No to Drugs message came about. We looked at it in this aspect where the guy that's representing the national team, everyone in the community looks up to them. If they go around speaking the right language, say no to drugs, keep away from substances, that person is heard louder than any other person because they look up to that. That peer is a role model with the community. They're young, but they've got a role to play, and this is how we capture them.
And sport is about friendship. Is that still the case these days?
Yes, we do say we'll fight on the field, we'll shake hands afterwards. We have made it a motto for our awards that we're going to highlight what the event was about. So every participant is going to take home a certificate that will remind them of those values. And hopefully we can then remember that we made friends.
Well, that's great. You know, you spoke of competition, different levels of competition. A new competition which has come into the Zimbabwe sporting scene is the Grid Cup. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it could potentially replace the Paramount Garment, or what are your thoughts on the Grid Cup?
No, I think the Grid Cup is taking a leaf off the Irish system. The Grid teams at the moment are based on a draft that was had. But I think eventually if we could build this into a provincial system and have provincial teams, this could actually be more competitive. But for starters, we've got to start somewhere. I'm glad that they've started. We only can build from it.
Sure, we didn't bring you here to talk about rugby politics, but what are your views on what's happened recently at national level with the Rugby Normalisation Committee coming in? World Cup still long way away, a lot of time to sort ourselves out, but what's your feeling of recent developments in rugby?
I think from a personal perspective, I think it was something that needed to be had. The environment wasn't conducive. Sponsors were wary of what was happening, and I think having the IMC to normalize stuff, get the boardroom in check, will just build our platform for the World Cup. 2027 is our first time in a long time. I think the IMC's role should be more focused on grassroots, building a platform for us to remain in the World Cup and be a contender in 2031.
Wow, that far ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. So, sure, let's hope it all works out there, and yeah, all the best for the tournament on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Under 20 training, as that started, as that commenced, we know that you like to start your training earlier.
Yes, we have. We've had our first alignment camp. We had it early this year. We felt that coming out of the schools league, we needed guys to have a feel of what we're doing at under 20. So we had a huge attendance at our first alignment camp. We had buy-in, which was great. We did it before guys went into their third term sporting activities, the cricket tours and all that, and then exams, obviously. So we will have our next alignment camp in November, and then we resume our Grassroots to Greatness program in December.
And obviously it's been quite hard juggling the under 20 season, your training. You'd want to start the under 20 season earlier in December. Has that been able to happen yet?
No, unfortunately, the league will start in January. The plans to start it earlier was hoping to get us more preparation time as a national squad. But yeah, we'll try and find a way to make it work. We yet to find out what the dates will be for the Bath tournament, but most likely the window is around the Easter weekend window, so we'll try and plan around that.
All right. Wow. Well, lots of buy-in from other Zimbabwean sports. We're going to be talking to Patson Chatedzuka, who is representing from the Mr. Harare Classics and beyond the pitch. Right, we are now being joined by Patson Chatedzuka, the spokesperson for the Harare Classics, and he's also a fitness and conditioning coach. Just first off, Patson, thank you for joining us on the set. Thank you.
Thank you, Sables.
Yeah. So just my first question to you is, the Harare Classics. When you look at Zimbabwe bodybuilding as a whole, how significant is the Harare Classics?
Yeah, Harare Classic is a giant competition that has attracted many athletes from within and outside the country, and it has grown bigger and better than before, taking into consideration that it started way in 2020. It was COVID era, and we've moved through all these years. This year is the 2025, which is going to be the 6th edition. So the athletes are looking forward to Harare Classic.
Harare Classic.
Yes.
And you mentioned you've managed to bring in athletes from in Zimbabwe and also outside. Where are some of those athletes coming from?
Yeah,
From
there are
outside?
athletes coming from South Africa. One of the strong contenders, it's Edwin Mutero, aka Gearbox. Yeah, Gearbox. And another youngster, Tatanga, is nicknamed Dubai because he's playing his trade in Dubai. And he has rocked the stage there in Dubai.
Gearbox.
Yeah.
Tell us about these trophies here. These are yours?
No, these are floating trophies for the return after. So I think new champion is going to be crowned this year, and new records are going to be set.
So this is men's physique and
Men's
overall.
physique and overall bodybuilding.
Right. What's the difference?
Men physique will be talking of the physique, and they can demonstrate some fitness fanatics on stage. As opposed to bodybuilding, they are talking about the symmetry from top to bottom and how one can showcase the muscles that has been working throughout the year, and the diet plays part and parcel into this sport.
Right. Besides Gearbox and Dubai, who else are we looking forward
There's
to
the
seeing?
defending champion who is Gideon Teguru, and he's doing his work. But in sports, anything can happen.
I've met Gideon, big, strong man. He'll be looking to do a hat trick this year. I know he's won it 3 times, but is this he's looking to go 3 in a row this year?
That's what he is preparing for. But this, as I'm saying, we've got Tatanga, who's in Dubai. He's eyeing for this. And Edion Mutero Gearbox, he is a wounded lion. He's also coming back. You see.
All right.
Yeah.
And the athletes have got their eyes on the Nationals in Vic Falls next month as well. So it's exciting times for bodybuilding.
Yeah, it can be like a appetizer preparing for the national shutdown in Victoria Falls, which is the Zim Nationals.
So you want to be at your peak now or on the 15th of next month for Vic Falls?
Me,
I mean the athletes.
the athletes, yes, and some will be playing their cards. Some might not go for this one, or they'll say, let me prepare for Harare Classic
Right.
and do my best and forget about that one because it's taxing.
All right. Simba?
Yeah, I think for the athletes also you just need to warm up with the Harare Classic because it gives you an indication of what you're going to expect at the Zim Nationals because you might opt out of the Harare Classic, which is big anyway because you look at the money that is involved. I'm sure this year you've got a lot of money that is at stake in terms of the winning price of the athletes.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, it is getting bigger and better than before. We are looking at 3,000 United States dollars for the overall winner, Harare Classic.
That's very
Wow.
big. Yeah. And Patson, I can see yourself. You're looking strong and fit. Have you ever competed in bodybuilding?
Yes, I've competed for over 2 decades.
2 decades.
Yes.
You compete, and you retired, or you still just do it for fun now?
Now I'm coaching and I'm doing it for fun. It's my life
your
and
life.
it's my way of living. I would like to help others to see, if he can do it at his age, why can't I?
And with your fitness and conditioning coaching, do you prefer to coach your bodybuilders or just general fitness and conditioning and keeping healthy?
I like the way that you're saying fitness is grouped or categorized into 5 conditions, 5 components. We've got cardiovascular fitness, muscle strength, muscle endurance, flexibility, agility, coordination, quickness, and power. So that gives a full package of fitness. So in fitness, it covers, that's the core foundation for each and every sport. In football, rugby, athletics, tennis, to name but a few, you need all those skills.
Right.
Then the other one, we'll be talking about wellness and healthy. Of late, we have developed the diseases of lifestyle, like diabetes, hypertension, heart problems. All those things can be reversed or managed when you are exercising and eating healthy. So that's where I come in as a fitness and conditioning coach.
Okay. So you'd rather be a general fitness coach rather than specifically a bodybuilding coach?
Yeah, I've taken a general. If someone wants to focus on bodybuilding, I will rather delegate someone who is into that. Mine is fitness and conditioning.
Okay.
Right. Because this idea of wellness is something that we're hearing more about now, that besides your elite performers, for everybody, we can all benefit from wellness without being up there among the champions, yeah?
Yeah. Wellness, we are talking, it starts from within yourself. I will say intrinsic motivation as opposed to extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic is outside factors. Is the doctor said you have to exercise. Yeah. Or right. Because of my wife, my this, they are outside factors. But when you think of yourself, you're healthy, that's what you do. Are you able to do activities of daily living without fatigue?
So I should be intrinsic, not extrinsic. I should look after my own health rather than the doctor or other circumstances telling me, yeah?
Correct.
Hey, well, we learned something today.
Throughout the show, we had Shaun de Souza on a little bit more previously. We were speaking about some of the values of sport. He wants to say no to drugs, bring back community, friendship. What are some of the values that you like to uphold as a fitness coach? Do you want to promote healthy lifestyles? What are your values as a fitness coach?
I personally, and the vision of Harare Classic is to promote wellness, like proper training, healthy eating, as opposed to spades. When we talk of spades, we are talking of sports performing enhancing drugs. So you'll be taking advantage over others, and it's not also good for your personal person.
Right.
You see.
Spads.
Yes.
Sports.
Performance enhancing drugs.
Spads.
Yes.
Okay. What is acceptable for a bodybuilder?
For a bodybuilder, I would say if you do your proper training, which is periodization, from there then you grow till you reach there. Then the nutritional part of it. We've got 3 components. We've got protein, fats, carbohydrates. They must be balanced. As a bodybuilder, you need more proteins to build out the body and to repair out worn-out tissues. But people, the youngsters, we have to go deeper. They'll just talk about supplementation. Okay, let's go back to the word supplementation. What does it mean, general? I might ask you.
Supplement something that's already there.
And you?
Extra.
Yeah, like that one. Adding, addition of what is a deficiency.
Right.
So from the food that you are eating, what is lacking? I will say, go back, give me a 3-day dialogue. Whatever that comes through your mouth, then I'll say, look, in the morning, what did you take? They'll say, tea with bread. Then I'll say, what does that constitute? It's carbohydrates. It's more to carbohydrates.
Right.
Tea, more sugar, that's carbohydrate. Then mid-morning, you say, I've taken some sweet buns and a sweet drink. Again, more carbohydrate. Lunch, sadza, rice, more carbohydrate. So we say, let's revisit that. Because more carbohydrates, you are preparing a pre-diabetic pack. Another healthy concern.
Wow.
Sorry, no, continue.
Go.
Okay. Speaking of diet and nutrition, are you still as strict with yourself as you were while you're competing in bodybuilding, or has it slightly changed your diet?
I'm still there. As you go towards competition, you change of gears and go a little bit deeper. But now I maintain my...
You maintain?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't go for the calorie surplus, calorie deficit. You like to...
No,
just keep
now
it
I'm
level?
on maintenance. Watching what to eat.
Watching what to
Yes.
eat. Okay. Well, what do you like to eat to keep a healthy lifestyle and diet?
Fruits, vegetables, meat, less sugary drinks. Well, that's number one.
All right.
It spikes your sugar. If you do not exercise, you start gaining weight. And indicators: diabetic, hypertension, weight gain, and the body image starts changing.
Wow. Yeah.
Interesting.
And just to take you back, Patson, about the issue of, you spoke about enhancing substances, but how is the situation when it comes to steroids use among our athletes?
On that one, it's a little bit tricky. Worldwide, we cannot deny it, they are using it. Some will be using it, but there are pros and cons to that. Because steroids, they are dangerous to your personal person. That's number one. So for a sport person, even in football, you have heard some that they failed to pass the anti-doping test, which is a very, very sad incident. But again, as coaches, we encourage them not to take steroids. And if you take any medication by the doctor, put it down. It might help you, because I was suffering from this, they'll take that. Okay, that one is categorized under doping, so you might be given a waiver.
So you must keep a record.
Yes.
Wow, yeah. Otherwise you can get in trouble,
Yes.
even if you were innocent.
Yes.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Looking back to the competition, the Harare Classic, you said it's getting better and better each year. In what way? Are there more athletes, more sponsorship? Is it becoming a bigger brand? How is the Harare Classics becoming bigger and better?
Yeah, we've got more corporate world that are coming hands to join with Harare Classic. And more athletes are looking forward to partake into Harare Classic. So it's getting bigger and better. You know, if you talk of Zimbabwe and if you don't talk of Harare, something is amiss. Yeah.
And is the sport bodybuilding growing in Zim as compared to in your 2 decades of bodybuilding? Are you seeing an increase in participation from athletes?
Yeah, it is growing, and the only hindrance, the worrisome thing, we have to start at grassroots level. That's where it will feed to these big events. So like Chitungwiza, Mbare, Highfields, all those things should hold provincial district shows so that they'll come. Because at times you just, there's Gideon Teguru. The youngsters could look at himself with, can I upset that giant? You see. So if they build confidence from those small shows coming into the bigger shows, you will get there. In proper coaching, proper nutrition, you'll get there.
And where's the Harare Classics been hosted this year?
The Harare Classic this year is going to be held at 7 Arts in Avondale on the 25th of October.
Oh,
Wow.
So time is ticking away. Yeah.
Yeah. Time is ticking away indeed. Countdown to the 25th of October. But thank you, Patson. It's been great having you on the show. We're going to be finally moving on to the Shesham ordeal and what happened last week and why they're back in the Central Region Soccer League. The headlining story about 2 weekends ago is Shesham pulled out of the Central Region Soccer League, but after less than a week they are back in the league. Simba, what is going on in the Central Region? How did this decision come about?
Yeah, I think it was more drama in the Central Region because they said they were pulling out. Actually, they announced on after their defeat to MSU, and then on Sunday, and then the following day they released a statement, and The following day, the Central Region Soccer League said, yes, you want to pull out, it's fine. It was nice meeting you. You can go. And now after a day or so, then we saw ZIFA now releasing a statement saying, no, Shesham are still part of the Central Region Soccer League. And so they have to play. I think the fixtures were released on a Tuesday. And after that, they went quiet. And then on Friday, they then announced that we have now made a U-turn and we are going to play tomorrow against Zimbabwean.
After speaking to corporates, as they said in that statement, they're now back in the league.
I'm surprised which corporates, because, you know, the debate is if other teams have pulled out, like what happened to Bishopstone, Ajax Movers, JM Busha. And in this instance, I'm really to get what really moved ZIFA to say, no, you are going to stay in there, you are not going to move out. Because in terms of the concern that they raised quite a number of concerns. One, saying that they are not getting a good deal from the region, and also that the referees were against them. They even accused us journalists, saying that we were not writing what was happening at the stadiums, and that is in their favor. So they accused almost everyone except themselves. And after that, now they came back, they played, but Zimbabwean was also saying, we thought they were not going to fulfill fixtures, and the same way that fixtures were coming out with Bishopstone on the list, and then they thought probably they were just not going to play, and they traveled on the day of the game and arrived just an hour or so before the game, and they went on to fulfill the fixture, but then they wrote something to say we are playing this match under protest because not much communication was done.
They were drama queens, Sib Shesham have been drama queens in this whole episode. Yes, they can feel aggrieved. I'm sure ZIFA looked at the bigger interests of football, that it's bad for football if they're not part of the central region. But Shesham should have looked at the correct way of handling this, and pulling out in such dramatic fashion, it wasn't necessary. There are procedures to follow, and at least they're back in. But the way they handled it, it was out of order.
Yeah, totally agree there, Steve, because you look, they accused quite a number of people in there, and when you do like that, it's difficult now when even the league itself wants to get in some sponsors, or even ZIFA itself wants sponsorship. I think, when you make those big allegations, you need something that is behind that. If they have got the evidence, yes, you put it, but then there are also channels that are supposed to be followed when you bring out that evidence. I've always said, look at FIFA, how they do their business. They wait until they have got concrete evidence, and then they announce you the verdict without telling you that we have been doing investigations or so and so did what. Look at what happened with AsiaGate. A lot of image was damaged for the players, administrators, but how many people were found guilty because of AsiaGate? In football, there are things that you can see, but you can't touch them. You can't have the evidence when you go before trial. So I thought they should have handled that thing well, because the image of the league, the image of football itself, the image of individuals that were implicated in those allegations also needs to be cleaned.
Yeah. So this doesn't happen very often, that teams pull out. But Patson, I want to ask you this question to bring you in. In your 2 decades of bodybuilding on the stage, from your personal training and your being a spokesperson of the Harare Classics, have you ever seen an athlete on the stage walk off because they didn't win or they weren't liking the judge? Has that ever happened in your knowledge?
Yes. Yes. Citing unfairness from the judges, and I was looking far much better than so and so. Then the fans again could say, no, you go there, the fans cheer you, and you think that you were the best. So what we tell athletes, okay, if you have got any issues like what my learned friend is saying, calm down, put it in writing, ask the organizers, then ask the judges.
Yes. So there's a procedure to follow.
Yes. Come on, guys, even go to your coach or another independent. Look, can you tell me how was my physique? You'll be told your front is compared to your back, your side you were relaxing while someone was showcasing the muscles. So there you were found wanting. Yeah, and like what you're saying, it gives a bad repetition to the organizers. The sponsors, again, might not want to be part and parcel of a messy thing. So we try by all means to educate the athletes. To whatever happens, at least follow the actual channel. Go to your coach or ask some of the judges. Tell me, even ask the organizers, will try by all means to say the judges, they are also human beings, they can have a human error. But on the bench, there are 5 or 7. So they cannot just...
Yeah. Cannot just hit you. And just to add on that one, on Sunday there was a game between Chesham Queens. Remember when they announced that they were pulling out Chesham from Central Region, the women's team was also pulling out of the women's league. And they played against Kwekwe United, Kwekwe Queens, and towards the end, Kwekwe were awarded a penalty. And you could see some of the players briefly walked out in the technical from the pitch. And there's also video footage of their number 27 trying to, confronting the referee. And it seems like there is something that is now creeping into the heads of their players, that it's us against the world. And what do? We walk out or we fight them.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Temper tantrums in sport are no stranger. They come thick and fast. But one which was taken to the extreme on match day 29 when Dynamos played in Gezi Platinum. Head coach at Takeshaw Chiragwi struck MacDonald Makue with a slap to the face. And eventually, MacDonald, after a couple of days, released a statement where he said that Takeshaw had accidentally slapped him. That is a lot of rubbish. We all saw the footage. We all saw what happened. I can understand maybe wanting to, protect your coach, but that was some... so not the best PR work from the Gezi team.
In the rubbish category of the highest order, because we all saw the clip. The clip went viral, and of course it was deliberate. It was heated, yes. Emotions were very high. It was heated, but it was not an accident. He's now backing up his coach. Maybe he was told to say something to try and smooth the situation, although Chiragwi stepped down from the Warriors for these last 2 games as assistant coach. But rubbish of the highest category.
You can't really stand by that, but take it seriously, to be honest. Simba, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there was a bad PR job by Gezi Platinum Stars, and like from the wedding, you can tell that probably the player was coerced to write such, because no any other player would write such, because that slap was also an embarrassment to the player on the field of play, the way that it was trending. And I just thought they should have just left it without trying to manipulate even the player, because it seems like the player is also trying to safeguard his job at the club.
Yeah. Even in the statement, MacDonald said that his relationship with Takeshaw is unchanged. I think even if you still like Takeshaw, there will be a bit of a differentiation, but that's just a PR work going. And so after all of this has happened, Gezi are going to be playing Simba Bhora this weekend. So maybe will this affect? We'll see how Takeshaw behaves in the dugouts. Another really interesting story that came out was the arrest of Ruben Mhlanga and Abbas Amidu for drug possession. Now, not just any amount of drugs, 750 kgs worth of marijuana. That's an insane amount. It's almost cartel worthy. So it's very unfortunate. Soccer stars back in their day, and they've had to resort to selling drugs. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that's serious dealing, isn't it? Of course, we know players have been taking drugs for many, many years. It's been happening. We know that, but the scale of this one is really alarming.
Yeah, really alarming. Should there be maybe more awareness in the PSL? Should they look maybe to, raise awareness about drug abuse? Do you think, Simba?
You see, these are the people that should also be at the forefront speaking against drug abuse. But look, whose child are they affecting? Because when you take such, amount and you sell it on the market, and how many kids are going to be affected. Yes, there's been a lot of debate, and some players have been coming out speaking loud against it. And I saw on social media many people having a go at Murape because he had questioned that. But look, if you haven't been affected or haven't seen a relative or a child who has been affected by drug abuse, I think people should think twice, because this is affecting many, many families. And once one is hooked, it's difficult for one to come out of it. You need a really strong rehabilitation. So it's something that, should spoken against, because it's affecting families, it's affecting many livelihoods.
Yeah, just the sheer scale as well. It's very sad to hear. Right, on to game time, guys. Last week we had lots of answers. Well done to those of you who are the winners. The question was, in what year did the Warriors first qualify for AFCON? The answer was 2004. So well done to everyone who participated. Even if you didn't win, keep participating and keep enjoying the game time. This week's question is, in what year did the historic rivalry between the Highlanders and Dynamos first take shape? So go to your fan zone, log on, and get answering. But to our guests here, Patson, Simba, thank you for sitting in the fan zone with us. Patson, I'm sure it's going to be another successful Harare Classics. Do you have any words for fans, sponsors before we close?
I'd like to thank the Fanzone for hosting me, and the athletes who are looking forward to Harare Classic. I'm saying sharpen up your tools. Be prepared, because this is going to be bigger and better. Thank you.
Well, yeah, thanks for being in the fan zone with us, guys. If you have enjoyed this content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your family, friends. Let us know what you think. Tell us your opinion in the comments, and get subscribing. The Fanzone Podcast, Liars Look the League, the Fanzone YouTube is absolutely booming, guys. Lots of content out there for you. If you're not predicting, head on over to fanzone.co.zw. Enjoy the last couple of games. Have some fun. But we'll see you guys in the next episode.